Sometimes people lie to you. Sometimes they use you, insult you, or walk away like you never mattered. And in that moment, you ask why. Why do people harm others who only meant well? The Bhagavad Gita would smile at that question and say, it's not what you did, it's what they are carrying. See, Krishna doesn't label people as good or bad. He says, every person is moved by three invisible forces of nature, the gunas. See, we have three types of gunas. First is sattva, which is calm, balanced, understanding force. Then we have rajas, fiery, ambitious, and restlessness. Tamas is dullness, bitterness, and lost in ignorance. Now imagine these three gunas like Wi-Fi networks. Whichever one your mind connects to, that's how you will act. So when someone is cruel, jealous, or arrogant, they're just operating on low signals. In chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, verse 37, Krishna says, Kam esh krodh esh, rajagun samudbhava, mahashano mahapapma, vidhenamih verinam. This simply means desire and anger born from rajas are the true enemies. So that person who mocked your process, they are not confident, they are craving. That person who gossips about you, they are not strong. They are starving for validation. When desires do not get fulfilled, anger takes birth. And when anger doesn't get resolved, cruelty follows. They doesn't hate you. They hate the reminder that they are not who they wish they were. And when the ego joins the party, it gets worse. In chapter 16, verse 18, Krishna says, Ahankaram balam darpam, kamam krodham cha sanchritaha, mamatma paradeheshu, pradvishanto bhyasuyakaha. Which means blinded by ego, power, arrogance, and desire, they lose sight of what's right. Sounds familiar? People start thinking, I am better, I am smarter, I am right. And the moment that thought enters, compassion leaves. So what do you do with that? Do you fight back? Prove yourself? No, because you will just get dragged into their storm. Remember, anger spreads like Wi-Fi too. Connect to their energy and you will start glitching. You will start overthinking, replaying their words, wondering why you were never enough. But here's the wisdom. You're not the cause of their hate. You're the mirror of their chaos. And mirrors doesn't need to explain what they reflect. The healing starts when you see them not as villains but as people stuck in their own wars. They're burning inside and you just happen to walk too close to the fire. That doesn't mean you stay and get burned. It means you understand and walk away without hate. Because if their behaviors awakens rage in you, that's rajas. If it makes you numb or bitter, that's tamas. But if it makes you calm, compassionate, and free, that's sattva. And that's mastery. You don't raise above people by judging them. You rise above by staying centered while they lose balance. And trust me, nothing irritates an arrogant mind more than a peaceful one. So the next time someone's hate find you, don't take it personally. Whisper to yourself, may they find peace. And actually mean it. Because that prayer, that's your protection. That's your proof you have outgrown the game. Krishna's message isn't to be passive. It's be powerful enough to not react. Because peace is not silence, it's strength without noise. Remember, people throw what's overflowing in them. So when someone throws hate, don't catch it. You were built to hold light, not poison. Hare Krishna.